a back and forth scenario as regards global oil prices. But when we look at all this issue, if as much as we are very much elated as regards this, $8 billion is not small money when you talk about the economy of Nigeria and what that can actually do in terms of strengthening the naira. But apart from listening to state and federal officials, speaking grandiloquently about plans to launch cash crops that once were the backbones of our economy before the advent of crude oil, palm produce, cocoa, groundnut, cashew nut, shea butter, cassava, gum arabic, cotton, and so many other cash crops. We need to also understand that it goes beyond just saying it. We must put in the policies and programs in place that must be supported not only by the federal government but also by the state and local government, which of course are closer to the farmers who really grow these yams. The apprehension in the country is that yams will begin to get expensive. I mean, it might be out of reach of the common man.
It's expensive already, Tobi.
Okay, so don't forget that rice is still something is gradually becoming a food that even the poor can no longer afford. So are we adding yam to that list of growing expensive food? That is one question the Nigerians are getting are trying to ask, and of course are trying to get answers to this particular time and period of our national life. But beyond the fallout, the negative fallout, what are the positives? What exactly are the framework in place being put in place by the federal government to cushion the effect? Apart from the handsome reward that we will get when we export yams, how well have they been able to galvanize the framework existing in the local government in the rural areas, especially as regards yam farmers, to actually make this work? And how will these yam farmers themselves get that particular reward that they deserve? It's not. This is not a situation whereby you buy at stipend, you buy at cheaper prices from these farmers, and then you make a huge, humongous profit at the expense of these yam farmers. So these are issues we'll be looking at this morning. Apart from that, how 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 sufficient is the yam in the country? How would you say it is even enough for the people to
Do you know
actually?
how much a tuber of yam goes for now, Tobi? You should know.
Well, I should. That's
You should
I
know.
should. But
Okay.
but but you see the issue, Aghemerio, is that apart from knowing the price, apart from trying to fight the price skyrocketing, one issue is that is it readily available? Is it going to be enough? The yams, the tubers of yams across the country, is it enough? Is it sufficient for the population of Nigeria? So how much do we consume? These are statistics that normally the ministry should have actually gathered for them to be able to plan and say, okay, are we exporting excess or are we exporting all that we have so that there will be increase in the price in the country?
Now, report has it that Nigeria is currently the world's largest producer of yam,
Yes.
61.7% of global output, and that is according to the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, IITA. Right? If we are currently the world's largest producer of yam, like you raised earlier, do we have enough? If we have enough, why is it that a tuber of yam is still so expensive? Some would go for as high as 700 naira, 500 naira.
Yes.
Okay, if you're in Lagos State and you're buying a tuber of yam, do you know how much that goes for? 1,000 naira, 1,005, depending on the size. And even if you have three, like you say, Ilekon, Ilemeji, in Ibadan, and I've been here in Abeokuta too, Ogun State, you have three, just small pieces, so about 2,005. 1,005. If we have enough, how or why is it that a tuber of yam is still so expensive? One, and then two, do we truly have enough to even go around to feed over 170 million Nigerians?
I tell you,
because it is actually one of the staple foods.
Yes.
All right, if you're not eating it as yam, you're eating it as pounded yam.
Yes, or you're frying it or whatever.
You're roasting.
Yes.
Name it.
Well, that is one thing that the minister is trying to allay. That is one fear that is trying to allay. When this export program was actually launched on June 29 at the Lee Pond Container Terminal in Jora in Lagos, the minister said that the yams we are exporting will no way diminish the quantity we have at home. Indeed, most of the yams we produce rot away. And we also dug in and we realized that over 30% of the yams produced in Nigeria are set to rot away. So maybe this is the plan of the federal government to say, hey, why waste 30%? So why don't we start exporting some of these yams instead of them rotting away here? Well, we'll just take a breather right now and get in touch with the All Farmers Association of Nigerian President, that's AFAN, Prince Segun Dasaolu. He will be joining us on the show via phone this morning as we look at this new policy of the federal government. At least some people are saying that one area, one sector that the government of the day seems to be, including the past government, seems to be getting it right is in the agricultural sector. So let us see the gains in that sector. At the same time, this new policy of yam exportation and what it portends for Nigerians and of course the farmers. Stay with us, we'll be back. All right, like I said earlier, we now have the president of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN, Prince Segun Dasaolu. Prince Dasaolu, you're welcome to the Daybreak Show once again.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yes, Prince Dasaolu, when you heard the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development talking about the plan of the federal government exporting yams, what came to your mind?
Well, I felt happy, and I think that we are moving on as agriculture, I say, in this country is coming up again because we've all along been basing our life on oil. But this time around now, attention is being shifted on agriculture, and that is why when the announcement was made that the first consignment of yam leaving the shore of Iran abroad, I felt happy because it is going to boost our economy and it will increase the production rate of the farmers and it will affect the income of the farmers. So it's a good thing for this country.
Now, the apprehension of so many Nigerians when that news broke out was that do we have enough yams produced locally that is enough to feed the nation before we start talking about exporting these yams? How would you react to that apprehension of Nigerians?
Well, there is no need for Nigerians to be apprehensive about our export development. A country that depends on others, taking their own and not having our own, taking to them, And let me tell you that it is not that we don't have enough yam in this country. Hello?
Yes, we're with you.
It is not enough. It is not really right that we don't have enough yam in this country.
All right, so what is right?
Because if you look at it in this country, there are in the Federation that are known for yam production in abundance. There are sometimes when they take this yam, even lifting it up to the market, away from the rural area to where people will access it, is not there. It's not there, and the yam is there rotting. So these are one of the developments. This is one of the developments that is the problem that is facing the farmers. The rural farmers are facing the problem of taking their products from their production point where they will get it to people who will eat it. And if you could imagine transporting yam from different place to place, from the rural to the rural market, and from interstate to from one state to another, it's another problem. The cost of transportation itself is a problem. So a lot of things affect that chain line that make it look like as if you don't have enough yam. If you don't have enough yam, today if you get to the market, the yam is still available in the market. Today, we are now in July. The yam is still available for us here to eat in our local environment. So it's not that we don't have enough for us to eat. However, the point is that we need to increase our production to make the price come down. That is what we should work upon. What will make the price come down is that the cost of production, tractors, and things that will make the cost of production come down is what we need to work on.
Now, don't you think
So
that should have been...
farmers have to produce, and then this yam will be available for the consumers at a reduced price.
Shouldn't that have been addressed before the commencement of importation?
Well, you see, where we find ourselves right now in this country, there is need for us to look to develop other sector of our economy. And if we are crying every day that they are sending right to us, we are not sending anything. Whatever thing that we are taking is coming up from here. There is nothing but the free consignment of yam that was sent is nothing compared to what is available in the country. Then while that one is going on, the government, what is needed for the government right now is to now determine within their mind that now that you have opened our border for export of this product, where are we? These are not only yam and every other product. In fact, let me tell you that if we develop agriculture, there is need for us to cry about oil. The agriculture is more than oil. It will give us more than what oil gives us. And agriculture cannot dry up in as much as God gives us rain. And so, not only yam, we need to export maize, we need to export every other thing because we have abundant land. But there is need for government to develop our resources.
Okay, President Dasaolu.
That will make it possible for farmers to produce in abundance.
Yes, President Dasaolu, let us focus more on that. How do we increase the productivity of the farmers and, of course, force down the price to make sure that not only do we have it in abundance here, but also we have excess that will earn us billions of dollars in exports.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, as a farmer in this country, today we know how much the tractor costs. Today we know how much per hectare. If they are going to plow your hectare of land for you, we know how much it costs. And in the southwest, let me take Ogun State as an example. A farmer cannot expand his land unless that land is cleared. And for you to clear an hectare of land, you know how much it costs. Farmers cannot do it. The onus lies on government power to expand the land, input, tractor, plow, harrow, and all things that will be needed to do his farm practice must be available at a very low price. And that is why when you compare our farm produce here, for instance, to produce rice in this country, you realize that ofada is more costlier than imported rice. Let's ask ourselves, why is ofada? Why is ofada cost more than imported rice? And when you look at, that is one example, when you look at our cassava, the yield of cassava per hectare in this country is very, very low compared to the advanced countries where they produce the same cassava. So if I produce a cassava and I have increased yield of higher at a higher quantity, then I can sell at a cheaper rate, and then the food will be made available for people at a lower cost. But when the cost of production is very high, it becomes a problem. And there is need for training of the farmers too. Of course, a lot of farmers are still living in the past, but agriculture has gone beyond that level. So there is need for training, retraining. Today, a farmer cannot say, okay, this is the cost of my production. A farmer that gets up in the morning, goes to the farm, he's not costing his effort, he's not costing his children's effort, his wife's effort, no cost. At the end of the day, he sells his yam at a loss. The money that he thinks that he made on that market is nothing compared to his effort that he put in that agriculture. In that production. So there is need for government to actually, since now is the time for agriculture to boom. We cannot boom it unless we actually get up and make all necessary things that would assist farmers. And what are the things that will assist farmers? Are to make sure that the environment is made conducive for them to produce the food in abundance. And what will make the environment to be conducive for them to produce in abundance is that input must be made available at a beck and call. I remember then, I read agriculture, and I remember then that we were moved to go and read agriculture because we see how then those who are in that line were doing fine, and the farmers too that were doing fine. There and then you can just move to agro service, you can just get your tractor, plow your land, and then you have your input available. You just get there at a very good price. All these things, you need to rejuvenate all these things. Before you know it, you will see that the price of food will be there and nobody will complain about why are they exporting because we don't have enough in this country. There is enough in this country if only we actually do our proper homework within a short period of time. Every other person will be happy. And you will see that we don't need to cry that we don't have money in this country anymore because the money is there. Agriculture is there to give us the money. The raw cash is there. But we cannot get it unless we put things in place and we make agriculture attractive.
Okay, now President Salu.
Yeah.
I know of the Anchor Borrowers Program, which was launched by the federal government. I also know that fertilizers have been subsidized for farmers at the rate of, I think, 5,500 naira. Correct me if I'm wrong. And similar other initiatives. But would you say that many of these implements that you talked about, tractors, harrows, planters, harvesters, and the likes, would you say that there's been any serious plan by the federal government to subsidize them, make it readily available for you at a subsidized rate so that it will reduce drastically the cost of production and, of course, the price of these commodities?
Thank you very much. You mentioned the Anchor Borrower Program.
Yes.
This year alone, Ogun State anchored not less than 5 or 6 commodities. If I may list it for you, the maize, we have the cassava, we have the pig, the cattle, etc. But you see, when they are planning their program, when they want to plan program on agriculture for farmers, honestly speaking, the missing link is that the farmers themselves will not be there when they want to program for them.
Hmm.
The anchor borrower program we anchored. Today, no farmer has actually accessed 1 naira. This is July. No farmer has accessed 1 naira from that anchor borrower program. Go to central bank and confirm this. This now tells us that something must be wrong with the anchor borrowers program. And that is one of the programs, laudable program, which is a very good program put in place by the federal government. There's the machinery to make it work because the banks that are involved are shared. You know, there are certain percentage for central bank, for commercial bank, and for the farmers. Farmers have done their bit. The central bank has tried their best. The commercial bank are shying away from all this the agri projects. And so the federal government needs to actually sit tight and then be serious in agribusiness. It cannot be done on television. It cannot be done on radio. It will be done right away with the people, and you can get results if the people that are actually involved are you sit down with them and tell them the fact that this is what you want. And the result will be fantastic. And you see, there are, okay, in this country, we will not bother ourselves about data. There is need for farmers data. Data, government needs to play a very key role in getting things, putting things in place.
Prince Dasaolu, sorry for cutting in. Sorry for cutting in. I thought that was actually done in the past administration. There was a census of farmers across the country and even a plan to roll out mobile phones for them to easily get access to information and, of course, programs and policies of the government.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, that's another problem that we're talking about. The federal government directed data on GIS. Each state needs its own data. Each state in this country needs its own data. This data, and there must be proper synergy between the federal government and the state government. And when that data is generated, the authenticity of each data must be verified. And you must have pure and simple data that will be placed at all times that can just make things work at any time. And look, in the anchor borrower program, there are a lot of series of errors that work against the program. Although they are trying to be corrected and things move on, but we can't continue at this pace because there is need for people to eat food. There is need for us to export food outside our shop. All these things, for us to put it in place, we are just crashing agriculture. Matthew, agri was recklessly abandoned for years. You cannot just wake up and say you are getting it today. It's not possible. For years it's been abandoned. The system has been decayed. Thank God now that it's now coming up. That as it is coming up, we must now sit tight and get all things in place.
All right, Prince.
The government is trying to get it. The government is trying their possible best to get it. But they must actually realize that in getting it, all stakeholders must be carried along.
Now, Prince
so
Dasaolu,
fantastic results must come up. The government is trying to, I'm aware of the state government is trying to come up with a lot of things pertaining to agri development. They want to address how we are going to get all these the things, the clearing equipment and all this. Federal government too is trying its best to say, okay, anchor borrower program, let the farmers have it, so that there will be food in this country and all these things. But when we
now
let
Prince Dasaolu,
we must actually articulate our programs and projects so that we can have fantastic results.
All right, so have fantastic result. Let's still look a bit into the future because you've talked about Nigeria thriving on
Let me hear you
agriculture.
clear. Let me hear you clear.
You said that Nigeria actually thrived on agriculture some years back before we moved, we turned our face to oil and gas, and now we're going back there gradually. It seems like a very beautiful development, no doubt about it. But let's also talk about the sustainability. Do you see Nigeria being able to sustain these? Do you see Nigeria being able to move with these even after this administration, all the administrations that will come after this will continue with this? Do you see this happening?
Yes, I see it happening. You see, as farmers, we have role to play.
What are the
Because
roles?
if government fails, the citizens fail. So, on our part, there is need on our part to assist government. How do we assist government? We must be bold enough to tell them. If you see, if you see somebody pressing you 24 hours, then know that there is problem with that person. But when you see that constructive, genuine advice on our part, we need to offer it. We do not need to keep quiet. It is government. There are a lot of things that they are occupied with a lot of issues. Agriculture is one. And this agriculture is for the farmers and for the citizens. And so the stakeholders must genuinely get up, assist the government. And how do they assist the government is by sincerely offer help that will help the government in soft landing in making food available for the farmers. And government on its own part must be sincere with the farmers in whatever program that comes up. And we must be able to tell ourselves face to face that you are wrong here as government. Government should be able to tell the farmers that you are wrong, you the farmers.
Okay. Prince Dasaolu,
Yeah.
well, talking about this particular policy of exporting yams, was your association consulted? Were you carried along? And if so, what benefits are the farmers, especially yam farmers, those who specialize in the production of yams, what are the benefits of this exportation to these farmers?
All farmers is 32 states, cut across 32 states. And if you watch the program and how the export program that was carried out, you could see that national states play a very key role in that exportation of yam. And not that about it, that in production, in business, in state, and national and international, there is what you call comparative advantage, or comparative advantage. In natural state, we cannot put ourselves at par with natural state when we are talking about yam production. Neither can we, Ogun State, put ourselves at par with Benue State when it comes to yam production. That is one of their keys. Yam is just like them, it's like cocoa.
Yes.
And any other crop that play a dominant role among our farmers here in this part of the country. So, the federal government did it to lift the yam from that state. Yes, there. As all farmers stated, all farmers in Nasarawa state are deeply involved because they cannot do it without it is the farmers in that state that actually produce the yam that they export. And the farmers must be jubilating in that state right now that the export of this is happening. As they kickstart from Nasarawa state on yam, it's going to spread all over because the market space is there open and we cannot fill that space. Then we must start from somewhere. So,
Do you see this, Prince Hassan? Do you see this having a rippling effect on other cash crops or food crops as regards exportation?
let me hear you again.
Do you see this do you see this having a multiplier effect, especially as regards other food crops or cash crops? That is, we won't only be exporting yams, but also be exporting massively cassava, cashew nuts, and of course other food crops.
Thank you very much. In short, let me tell you that we are happy as farmers that they are now kickstarting this export program on agriculture. It gives us a leeway, sort of, right now. And let me tell you that Ogun State is even more advanced. We have we are at advantage over others. All we need to do now in Ogun State is now to get up as farmers group, work in collaboration with our government to now take advantage of what happens in that place. Let me tell you, every day the export, Lagos is very close to us in Ogun State here, and southwest Nigeria. Every day, cargo through cargo, vegetable, every other thing that is produced in this country live ashore through Lagos here. And this is land space for us in Ogun State. All we need to do now is to now seek, synergize, and see how are we now going to take advantage of what actually took place in yam export. And we cannot, all of us cannot say, okay, because they have started exporting yam, we need to compete so that we can now begin to. We have comparative advantage of certain things here, beyond even cocoa and what have you. There are some crops that we could produce here that they need abroad.
Okay. All right.
That
All right.
as we produce it here, it will be at the airport. Before they take whatever thing they produce vegetable in Nasarawa or other parts, before you bring it to airport here for export, it's a problem. Then here we can take advantage of all these things and then leverage on that and make money. There is space for us to make money as farmers. But farmers cannot make this money. Take note of this. Farmers cannot take this money. They cannot take this advantage unless the government, the farmers, synergize,
And work together.
Things that will make it possible within the short space. You will see us moving on.
All right.
So we will not cry again.
Thank you so much, Prince Segun Dasaolu, President of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, for joining us this morning. We have to take a break now for the national news at 10. Prince.
Before I drop, let me say that I want to appreciate that now that Ogun State is now turning into agriculture, I wish Ogun State found progress, and I want to implore farmers to take advantage of whatever thing that government crop up so that we can be there. May God bless us.
God bless you too.
More grace to your elbow.
Thank you. God bless you too. All right, so we'll be back after the national news. Stay with us.
Thank you.
This is the time for you to do so. You can call our studio lines, and at the same time, you can reach us via the social media, and the short code 32120 is the short code. All you have to do is to type rock, ROCK, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. The numbers to call remain 0809 868 7344, 0909 146 9670. On social media, at Rock City FM is our Twitter handle, and of course, our Facebook fan page remains Rock City FM 101.9. Don't forget the rules. If you're calling, you have to turn on the volume on your radio set, give us your name, your location, and then go straight to the point.
My name is Dr. Onkom. I'm calling from Ashiro State.
Thank you
Very
for calling.
good discussion this morning. I listened attentively to Mr. Dasaolu or Chief Dasaolu, and I was happy about it. Let me just take one or two facts. The first thing, Tobi, The first culture shock I had when I went to Europe was that I saw people begging money, begging me for money. That means that, and I was asking myself, if Oyibo in the United States is begging me for money, what is Bill Gates? Why is he bringing money to Africa, not giving it to his brothers? If you go to India, there are people who cannot afford rice, but we are eating basmati rice here, Italian rice, Indian rice, and what have you. So the issue of when we take rice yam away, we will not have it to eat. There's nothing like that. It's only that we don't even know this yam we are talking of. We're not talking of yam, we're not talking of that one where they are going to Ibadan, you see yam and all those things. Go up north, go to Kaduna and see what happens. You'll be shocked that the amount of yam these guys are producing. And it's just there on the road. Nobody's buying it. So should I like to rot it because I cannot buy yam in Adokuta? The problem about those tubers is not because of production. It's how do you transport them? What are the logistics and issues that brings them to your table? It's not the active production. There are so many of those things to win. We say with this government should diversify. What are we going to sell? Are we selling computers? Apart from oil, is there any other thing? Now we want to sell yam. People like, no, we don't sell yam. We'll be hungry. I think you have not been hungry before. I will not be hungry, even if we export it. We are going to use it. Export it. Foreign exchange to come. The naira will drop. Naira dollar will drop as soon as that starts happening. Because you have alternative sources. Why are we afraid of it? Why don't you want to diversify? What is the diversification we're talking? Diversify. What are we diversifying? If this tiny one we are starting and complaining, then we cannot find them to eat and all that. What do we find to eat in this country anyway? So that's not the problem. The problem is that they have started. Is it going to be sustainable? If you don't export, you don't get money. Oh, Paris, there's nothing like being sustainable or not. If you don't sustain, you don't get money. So you have to export to get money. Let me just stop here. Other people will come funding. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Please, Gafar, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my contribution today will be very happy. Exportation pays, devaluation pays an export-based economy. Now, we have devalued. The first value to devalue our currency, we should export what is exportable. There is no fear in exporting here. By the time you export, physical demand has determined the price in Nigeria. The more we export, the better for us. We are talking of devaluation. We are talking of making diversifying our economy. We are talking of getting more foreign exchange. We can get that from agri too. Let us give this a trial. To me, we have succeeded in devaluing our currency, so we should export because exportation, devaluation only pays an export-based economy. Let us make our economy an export-based, and let us see. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let's take one of the calls. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. We are with
We
you.
can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Big Daddy, calling from Aghemerio.
Okay, Big Daddy.
You see, there is one thing that happens today in Nigeria. We've been jealous that we are exporting yam. People are complaining. Sometimes, few years back, we had that there's no law. A cassava is now we use it for a flour for bread. People were just asking, a cassava will cost or not? It remains the same. Are they telling us that the people that they are eating their rice are they satisfied for that? If you go and give them one bag of rice, they will be appreciated. There is still a man over there who cannot afford money for rice. Who are complaining about this? No, the cost will not cost. Today, since last week to 2-3 weeks, I haven't eaten yam. If it is the only way that we can only release from this burden, because there's nothing no you go come to buy from us any longer. My brother, if you show me the way, I will be among them. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my name is Honorable Lanre Jaji Larije. I'm calling from the People's Parliament in Olofon Community, Yagunoleme, Abeokuta. Yeah, you've been saying this quite a long time, Tobi. You said we should diversify, we should go into, smart and full-fledged mechanized agriculture. and this is one of the benefits that we can derive. A lot of our unemployed youth are going to get employed. By the time everybody knows that if you are an export yam, you can get dollars. I'm telling you, you see a lot of yam farmers, springing up and producing yam in abundance. That will be able to feed the whole of the country. That will be able to even have an opportunity to be exported outside the country, and we're going to earn some foreign dollars, on top of it. Not only yam alone that has to be exported. They have said we should diversify. We can export cassava. There are some species of cassava that China is using to generate electricity. So we need to go into that area too. So people must not have that fear or must not entertain fear that because we've not been well fed with yam in Nigeria. So what's the point of exporting? No, we shall have in abundance. Say for instance, me, for example, I think I'm even eating yam twice in this year. Good morning. Let me allow other people to call Tobi. God bless you, Aghemerio. God bless Nigeria.
God bless you too. Thank you.
It is because people are secluded. The people living within this area, I'm very sorry, they find themselves like dinosaurs. They refuse to go out. If you travel, if you have gone across your state to another state, the yam that is produced in Jalingo is the yam that is produced in the whole of the southwest. That is the truth. Some of us have gone around and we have seen things in this country. If yam is being exported to bring in foreign money to this country, to help our country, then some people say he will die. If anybody wants to die, let him go and do backyard garden in his house. Find a place. Hello?
Yes, we are with you.
Yeah. Do a backyard garden so that you can produce something small for yourself too. Don't rely on the ones that will be brought from Shaki or Igweti. Don't rely on it. The yam that is produced in the north, let's be very sincere, it doubles the whole of the yam that is produced in the whole of the southwest here. What are people saying? Let's export what we have to get what we need. Let's leave oil alone and focus on other things. When we say diversification, some people just understand that word. They don't know the meaning. If I'm going to take my gari to India, to stop the Indian man coming to make gari and bring it for me, I think it's very, very good to me to take gari to India for people just to buy, other than taking gari from India to eat it again. So let's continue with, and God will bless our farmers. Our farmers also will come up. Those who are buying from the farmers also will make money. The larger part, everybody, and Nigeria will be a better place for all of us to live in. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. We appreciate you. All right, don't forget the short code 32120 is the short code number. All you have to do is to type rock, R-O-C-K, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120.
Hello? Yes, we have you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Wahid. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
Thank you for calling.
I think this development is promise made, promise kept. When this administration came in, I mean the federal government, what they told us is that, especially Mr. President, he said they are going to diversify from mono economy, especially our over dependence on oil. And he said they are going to look into agriculture seriously. And I think that is exactly what is happening. The problem is we are saying there is no money. There is no money. This is one of the avenues that they can also get money for us. I think the country can be financially buoyant or can develop its economy. Now, you are saying we should not export food because we have not seen food to eat, and we have not gotten food, yam to eat and all that. And my question would be, which market have you gotten to in Abeokuta that we didn't get yam? But because there is no money to buy those things, that is why our people are complaining. It is because there is no. If I go to the market right now, if I want to get 100 bags of yam, I know where to get it before 7 o'clock. But where's the money? And the federal government is saying, oh, because there is no money, because we need to revamp our economy, let us diversify. And the issue of no money you are talking about, we be nowhere to be found again. And I want to appreciate the federal government for fulfilling their promise. They promised us that they're going to do that, and they are doing it now. They should continue to do that. We will definitely, in no distant time, revamp our economy, and things will be okay. We will not even depend on oil again. We will forget about oil. What we just need is just to be supplying us for our car to be moved, our car to be moving, and for our generator to be running at home. And that will be all. There will not be over-reliance on oil economic-wise. I want to appreciate how those be, and I want to appreciate federal government. It is good for us. We keep it at this particular point in time, and they should keep it up. Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
it's to farmers to increase production. Okay, thank you. All right. Hello, who's on the line?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm Prince Ojo. I'm speaking from the school here in Aghemerio.
Okay, Prince Ojo.
As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing wrong in exporting yam. I want us to put more emphasis on manufacturing. We should not go back to what we were doing in the 60s when exportation was the order of the day. We should concentrate on Nigerian-made goods so that our jobless youth can get jobs. Manufacturing, what we can produce should be the order of the day. That's my take. Good morning.
Okay,
Good morning.
thank you.
Hello.
From Kehinde Abiola, we need to upgrade as a country, and this is one of the ways to change this Nigeria to a better country. All right. Okay, I think we've read that earlier. Yemi Da Vinci says, I have no fear with shortage of yam from exportation. Even if there is, it will last up to 2 years as new farmers will spring up. Sincerity of purpose and willingness from the government to follow through with whatever is needed to make this work, okay? Accredited Camus says, we don't know what we want in this country. We are trying to diversify the economy, yet people think yam export will affect Nigerians. Yams being exported are taken from excess from the north. There's nothing wrong at all. Production in the west will force down the price. Okay, Oduwale Babatore says the exportation is a welcome development. This is the beginning of the diversification we have always yearned for. Oluwaseyi Emmanuel says the exportation of yam will boost our foreign reserve and also make the naira compete with the dollar. Taiwo Tolulokwe says as good as the yam policy of the federal government is good on paper, it will further impoverish Nigerians. They did little to improve production. This policy is a fire brigade approach by the minister. The ministry has not done enough for us to be self-sustainable and for export. Oduwale Babatone says, I just admonished the federal government to tap into other crops we can export because we are too endowed with natural resources in Nigeria. Oluwaseyi Emmanuel says, yam exportation is good because it is a product that that doesn't wear. Okay, Oluwaseyi Emmanuel, sorry, that tweet is not clear. Government should capitalize on it, support farmers to produce more so that the exportation will be consistent and they should be watchful of saboteurs. That's the Oluwaseyi Emmanuel. Okay, this comment was also posted on our Facebook page by Surakat Abdulhamid. Okay, I think I read that earlier. Let's wrap it up with these messages coming in via the short code. Exportation of yam will surely take its toll on our economy. White men are not foolish. They get raw from you and send the product back at a higher rate. Tobi Oyadino sent in that one. All right, that is what we'll be doing the contents on the show this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us again tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the show. It starts early with newspaper headlines at 7 a.m. I am Tobi Joseph. Have a wonderful day.